Hello everyone. This is Oni, and today for you I have a review for Lamentum. This is a survival horror game that was developed by indie studio Obscure Tales. I guess it was released on PC in July 2021, and then a publishing studio known as Neon Doctrine published it to consoles in August of 2021. So, as per usual, if you are watching the video as we're going along, it's just me doing a random part of the game and failing, like I always do. So we're just gonna get right down here into the review. Let's go. When Victor's wife falls ill from a mysterious condition that cannot be cured, he looks far and wide for any solution. He then learns about Count Edmund at Graw Hill and how he might be able to help his wife. So off he goes in the horse-drawn carriage with hope in his heart and his wife in tow. Unfortunately for Victor, he ends up in a world of madness when he wakes up on a bed covered in blood, and the house that he came to is now broken, covered in disturbing pictures, and nightmarish monsters now roam the halls. As you work your way through the house, you start to learn that time apparently flows differently at Graw Hill, and that Victor was part of something mysterious. So you look for your wife. You also uncover what happened with Victor. I absolutely loved exploring this mansion and figuring out what everyone was up to here. You even learn about weird experiments that happened here. But why were they even performed in the first place? This game has multiple endings depending on some of the choices you make in the game. Do you tell the creature if you saw the child or not? Do you take mercy on the man who is now a monster? Or do you take the child with you? Or leave her in this nightmare? I only ended up getting 2 of the 4 endings as I played the game. For the best ending, this requires you to pick up a bunch of items throughout the game, many of which are missable. So I know I'll need a guide for when I want to see it. But honestly, the game is so short when you know what you're doing. It would probably only take me an afternoon, and that's okay. I will happily go back to Graw Hill, considering the writing and dialogue really helps pull you into the mystery. The gameplay is very survival horror, with a good emphasis on puzzles. I absolutely loved the puzzles in this game. None of them were too hard, but they were just vague enough to get you thinking on how to actually work them. Some of them required searching the environment or reading documents that were left lying around on nearby tables. Some puzzles required having multiple items in my inventory, and inventory management is crucial considering you only have 9 slots to work with. Do you keep all your weapons on you, along with your lantern to always light your way? Or do you run from every enemy you see? Should you keep healing, just in case? The combat in the game is surprisingly fun and enjoyable. I expected it to be insanely stressful, what with it being a survival horror game and everything. But not often was I using healing items. I loved learning the enemy's attacks so I could make them attack and then smack them with my melee weapon, conserving my ammo for my guns. Although I actually disliked using the guns in this game, but I ended up using them a few times. Considering the setting takes place in the 1800s, your weapons of choice are all flintlock weapons. So once you shoot once, you had to reload. This kept the combat thrilling, though, when I used them on bosses. But at the same time, the guns were just wildly inaccurate, even when I pointed the reticle towards enemies. especially bats. It helped that when you're near enemies, Victor has a stamina bar of sorts. Considering all the creatures are nightmarish monstrosities, if you get near one and try to run or dodge too much, Victor will run out of breath and bend over to catch his breath, allowing the enemies to close ground. So it becomes an issue of fight or flight. When I started the game, I was surprised to see a difficulty selection and a single but important accessibility option. Considering the game takes heavy influence from Resident Evil, that means you get limited saves. You have to find pen ink to save your game at desks, but you have the choice, even in-game, to give yourself unlimited saves if you ever get too stressed out over it all. Though, if you play carefully, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Heck, enemies don't even respawn if you kill them all, minus a few areas. So killing everything efficiently really helped in the long run. Plus, killing all the enemies that wanted to eat my face was the right choice anyways, so I never had to see them again. Because screw enemies that are modeled after babies. But having enemies kill you at least once was enjoyable because they all have their own special death animations that they do to Victor. As terrible as it was to see the gruesome ways he got eviscerated, it was also kind of funny. So, poor Victor. I cannot recommend this game enough to fans of the survival horror genre. The scenes are grotesque, the gameplay is really fun, and there's an intriguing mystery to be solved at the end of the day. One day I will also get the best ending, but it's also just such a damn chore with all the missable items you need. So just be warned. Now, get in the carriage and let's go to Graw Hill. And that is why I am giving Lamentum an 8 out of 10. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. I really hope you play Lamentum if this is your cup of tea. If you'd like to read the written article from where this work is taken, or follow me on Twitter and keep up to date with everything I do, or join the Node Gamers Discord channel and talk to me about any reviews or games or just anything in general. We are very friendly people, and the links for all those things will be in the description down below. So I hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good night. And until next time, everybody, goodbye.